Good morning, Aylen Junior High School. This is a special edition of the Falcon News Network. We are, Mr. Paz and I and Mr. Pica will join us in a minute, are going to talk to you about our upcoming citywide Lahar drill. The City of Puyallup is conducting a Lahar drill that involves multiple agencies and multiple schools, and we will partake in that this Friday around 9:15 in the morning. So before we talk about the specifics of what we're going to do during that drill, we first need to find out what is a Lahar and why is it important we evacuate. And for that, we're going to go to an expert in our own building, and that is a science teacher, a field investigations teacher, and a local farmer in this region, Mr. Pica. So over to Mr. Pica.
Wow, local expert. Thank you, Mr. Monsonides. All right, so good morning, everybody. What is a Lahar? A Lahar is a mud and debris and ice flow that comes down off of a mountain after an eruption. So why around here? We live in a zone called the Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire circles the Pacific, and because of the different plates that rub up against one another, they cause friction, molten rock coming up through the mountains and could cause an eruption. We all know Mount St. Helens. Mount St. Helens erupted back in 1980 and caused quite a bit of damage to that area and in Toutle region down there. We, in our backyard, have Mount Rainier. Mount Rainier is the largest mountain in the lower 48 states. It contains the largest glaciers and also the lowest in elevation glaciers, which could cause some damage if they were to melt and come down our valleys. So a Lahar, if Mount Rainier was to erupt, we would have about an hour to an hour and a half to get up to higher ground. You may have noticed that on every Monday at noon, first Monday of the month, at noon, there's a siren that goes on through the valleys of Orting, Sumner, and Puyallup that indicate if Mount Rainier was to erupt, we would have to evacuate and get up to higher ground. And we can hear that. There's one locally just right down the block. If that happens at any time, it doesn't even matter if it's during school time, you need to understand that you need to get uphill. So we, actually my class, we have been making this trip to DeCourcy Park, and it takes about 18 minutes where we're going to go just for the drill. And our total evacuation would take us up to Fruitland Elementary, which should take us about 35 minutes. So we need to be, we need to understand that when we take this drill on Friday, we need to be diligent, respectful, responsible. We are going through our communities. We ask that you be respectful of people's property. Understand that this is a drill that is being taken very seriously. There are 10 schools throughout our valley here that are going to be involved in this. And I think that is about it. We live in a dangerous zone, and we hope that this never happens, but if it does, we want to be prepared. So back to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pica. So now that we know what a Lahar is and the reason for evacuating, in a normal drill we would go up to Fruitland Elementary. For our, and not a normal drill, a normal evacuation, but in our drill today, Friday, we're only going to go to DeCourcy Park and walk about half of the path. So what does that look like? We are going to play the actual Lahar siren over the intercom. When that occurs, you will evacuate out the back towards our normal fire evacuation area with your teachers and your class. Once your teacher is out there and lines you up and you have the green sign that says you are good to go and your teacher is taking roll, I will send you on your way. And you will follow Mr. Pica's class or the class in front of you and start walking the evacuation route. And you'll buddy up with another person and walk in pairs of two. You need to stay on sidewalks and you need to be respectful. Mr. Paz will talk about some of those expectations here in a minute. If you are a student who is on crutches or who has some mobility issues or some health-related issues and you cannot walk that distance, we have a modified walk for you. You will evacuate out the back of the school with your teacher just like everybody else. And once your teacher identified you as somebody that has to walk the modified route, they'll send you to an area in the north side of the evacuation area that has a large orange cone. Walk to the large orange cone and wait there. There'll be a staff member there to assist you. Everybody will evacuate, and then those folks that need to walk the modified route will do so. You guys will return to the building early, and a staff member will wait with you guys until the rest of us return. Mr. Paz, would you like to talk a little bit about when they actually are walking, what that looks like?
Absolutely. So we ask you to walk safely, stay on the sidewalks, like Mr. Manzoni has emphasized, stay side by side with somebody. Be respectful of people's properties. We don't want you to walk into people's lawns or anything like that. We ask you to also talk to if you do speak to your partners or whatnot, to keep being respectful conversations. We're walking through people's neighborhood, so we want to be respectful of that. Keeping up the pace with one another, we want to make sure we have a limited amount of time, so stay in pace, walking a little on the pass. When you get to intersections, we're going to get to two major intersections. There's going to be 2 staff members in each intersection, which they're going to stop the traffic, and we're going to be able to cross the street. When we get to the Corsi Park, make sure we are lining up back with your teachers. So please make sure, remember, we need to account for everybody safely in a quick manner. And last but not least, stay together, be patient, and be calm. Those are things for me.
Okay, so a couple other reminders. Make sure you wear comfortable shoes. It's about a mile there and a mile back, so we're going to walk for a couple of miles, so wear comfortable shoes. Right now the weather, some days it says it's cloudy, sometimes it says it's partly sunny, sometimes it says there might be some rain. So I'm not exactly sure what Friday morning is going to look like, so just dress accordingly as we get closer to that time, but definitely wear some comfortable shoes. Once you guys line up down at DeCourcy Park, as soon as everybody makes it, and I'll be the last person there, then we're going to start sending you back to school. So you'll line up, your teacher will take roll, and then we'll send you back to the school. When you get back to the school, you'll walk in the building and go back to your second period class, and then you'll wait there until you hear the intercom announcement. We're not going to release anybody to their next class until everybody returns to the school, and we have all our teachers, staff, and students back in the school. So that will happen. Again, be respectful, please, throughout the time. It's important that anytime we do a drill, we do so seriously and practice it, because we want to know what to do if we really have to face a Lahar situation. So we appreciate your time listening today. Teachers, ask your teachers if you have any questions. The drill will be this Friday. We'll send out a school messenger to your parents this week as well, reminding them that that'll take place this week as well. And like I said, there's lots of other agencies involved, about 10 different schools in the valley, along with police officers and fire departments and some other agencies too. So it's a big deal. It's a big drill. We only do it about every 3 years, so we look forward to it. And again, make sure you wear those comfortable shoes and hydrate yourself as well. It's always good to get some water in you beforehand. All right, thanks for listening. Have a great day.
Have a good day.